Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on
But
it. I'll have
what do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadlines. And deadlines. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Welcome to episode 55 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and joining me in the Rack Shack, because it's cold outside, it's deer season, there's beer in here, Charles Hedlund. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, man?
Not too much, man. Chinchillin'.
It is cold. Sweet November.
Sweet November, man. There's been a lot of deer hitting the ground.
I know. I mean, that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been getting worked out of my mind over these last few days.
That is no bueno, kid.
Listen, I told them months ago, putting this time in now so I can hunt during deer season. Do you think that's how it works out? Ever?
Obviously.
You know, it's supposed to work out that way. Maybe I blew my load a little early in October.
Oh, man.
And I got a little too much time off.
I'll tell you what, though, end of October especially, was decent.
October was good to me.
Yeah.
Man, for the limited amount of sits, I had a ton of shot opportunities. A lot of arrows flying. Not all of them hitting their marks, but
well,
got a couple deer in the freezer, and I cannot complain. It's been a great year. I've finally seen a shooter buck. I've passed on plenty.
attaboy.
But I finally seen a shooter. So, I mean, it's that time where I'm literally getting text message after text message, and I'm sure you're the same way. And people talking about it like, man, I just saw a shooter buck chasing a doe across the street. Just saw this, and like, that hurts me so deep down inside.
When you're sitting at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But October was good to you again, wasn't it?
It was. Mel Johnson Day.
The Mel Johnson buck.
Yeah, man.
That's a great buck.
That is a great buck.
Yours beat his by
Easily.
at least 12 inches.
By at least 12 inches.
By a foot long at Subway.
His buck might actually be finally knocked down off the
Really?
stool. Yeah, they're waiting the drying period. They say it could lose up to 5 inches in the drying period. You never know.
Wow.
But it's very, very possible that it might be
The all-time typical from Oklahoma was just killed.
Yep.
That was Oklahoma, right?
I don't think it was Oklahoma.
Are you sure?
Was it Oklahoma?
I thought it was.
It might be. But that's freaking
thing
big.
See, what's funny about that is that buck doesn't look as big to me as the Mel Johnson buck.
Mel Johnson is just clean, big.
Giant.
I think it's a 6x6, isn't it?
It's massive, long, high, tall. Like this other deer.
It's huge.
It was huge. Huge. But that other buck, man, it was literally like not an inch of tine without, or main beam without tine on it.
Yeah, man.
Stupid big.
Yeah. It was a wall of tines.
You imagine something like that walking past you?
No, I think I was like, I think I like scratched myself with a weird twig or something, and I was tripping my mind out or something. I don't know.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, I would try my hardest, but there's no way you don't look at that deer's head.
Oh, God, no.
He'd have to come in with a blindfold on.
Yeah, you gotta like...
Close
I know
your
you're
eyes,
supposed to
listen.
just be Iceman and like... Ugh.
Yeah,
But,
good luck.
Yeah, it doesn't...
You'd come unglued.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
You would have to literally close your eyes and listen for him and then try shooting him based on sound.
That's beautiful. I want to show you a video after this, and you're going to love it. Just remember that.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh,
I'm telling
dude.
you.
That's beautiful.
But, you know, okay, so Mel Johnson Day. Let's tell everyone why we're here tonight recording the podcast and what we're going to be talking about.
I done shooted at a deer.
You done shooted at a white-tailed animal.
That is correct.
First deer of the season.
First deer of the season, especially for, well, yeah, my first deer of the season.
Yeah, your
first
first
buck
deer.
for the Whitetail Distraction crew.
That's right. You put us on the board.
Yeah.
We have not measured him yet.
We have not. That might happen tonight quickly. We'll see.
It's a button buck, so we probably got like 2 inches on the board.
Yeah, man. I thought about shooting a spike a couple times. I want that plunger trophy.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to do that.
That is correct as well. I wish we could, because I'd have had a spiker.
No, you don't want. We don't want that. We don't want to go backwards.
I kid.
So, what is Mel Johnson Day? Can you tell everyone what day that is?
October 29th.
The 29th.
Yes, sir.
And you killed last year on
27th. October 27th.
27th?
Yes.
I thought you killed on the 28th.
27th.
27th. We
found
recovered him on the 28th.
Correct.
That is right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
that's real cool. And
And the buck I killed before that, I killed on the 30th.
3 years. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a 3-year gap
Yeah.
where I was
But-
passing deer. And
But that last week of October, which has been predicted to be very good over this year and last year,
it's my favorite time to be in the woods, hands down.
I've been wanting to kill a Halloween buck
Me too, man.
since day one.
Who doesn't want to kill a monster on Halloween?
Right? I don't know why. Like, I want to be up in a tree dressed as Dracula,
Yeah.
fangs
dude.
in, blood rolling down my face, and I want to kill a slob.
That would be legit.
There's nothing better than... I might do it next year. I hold myself to it.
I might be there with Freddy Krueger fingers on.
Yes.
Hit the record button.
Yeah. But this year, we had a freaking hurricane come in.
Yeah, it was gnarly. It was gnarly.
40 mile per hour winds, 60 some mile per hour gusts, rain. I had to work anyways, but I wasn't going out in that.
I did my leaves.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do? Just kick them up in the air and let the wind blow them off their property?
Oh, man, it was windy. They were flying everywhere. I just set a bowl of candy out at the end of my driveway with like a little sign. It was like, enjoy. And I just did my leaves. I was like...
Did you have trick-or-treating still
yeah.
here?
Oh, yeah.
See, they moved...
not actually on.
I was going to say,
No,
they
I did
moved
them that
it...
Saturday. I was
They
thinking
moved it to
trick-or-treating,
Saturday. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It was freaking gnarly, though, on Halloween.
Yeah. It was
Gnarly.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the 29th.
The 29th, man.
So, how has your season been going up to this point? Because I don't know if we've really actually updated anybody up to this point.
No, I don't think so. Opening day was kind of uneventful. I mean, I guess it wasn't uneventful. My morning, I sat a total skunker. I was like, this is super disappointing.
Opening morning.
Opening morning.
It's tough.
First evening, I actually did a ground and pound. I crawled up into a deadfall, which was a freaking awesome setup, honestly. Super fun. Had a doe come in at like 18 yards, and I shot a sapling. So that didn't play out as well as I thought it was.
That will happen.
I thought I crushed her, honestly. I heard that pop.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. I was like, all right, I'm going to back out. I'm going to go grab Uncle Tom. We're going to go out. I went out and found my arrow busted. That was it. So that was a bummer. But after I shot at that doe, I saw actually a pretty decent 8-point past him. Yeah. He was maybe a pinch past his ears.
Okay.
Not real tall on time length. I mean, pretty stubby on time length.
It makes it easier to pass those deer that aren't that wide when they have those little itty bitty
tines, man. Yeah. And I was like, it's opening morning or opening evening and stuff. I just shot a doe.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with 2 blood trails, you know what I mean?
So you thought.
So I thought. I probably wouldn't have killed him anyway, but
Right.
Then after that, I don't think I really I didn't get out as much as I wanted to, but I think I sat the next 3 sits without seeing a deer.
That's tough.
Man, it was bummer. I was like bummed. I was like, my season's not going the way I want to.
All afternoon sits?
Yeah, all afternoon sits. And then I think the next morning sit I saw a couple of does. And that was it. Nothing really in range. And then next evening sit that I had a couple of does come through, nothing in range. And then I had a spike, just a big gnarly spike underneath my tree. Like right at the base of my stand, licking my sticks, everything. Like I could have just easily dropped a freaking rock on his head and been done. But after that Saturday, I think that was a Friday night. That Saturday in the morning, I went and did a blind hunt. So I went into a spot that you and me had previously scouted a couple of times, and I had an idea of where I wanted to go, but I hadn't really been in there too much to know, like, a tree to do a hanging hunt.
Yeah.
It's pretty thick in there. You know what I'm talking about. And I went in just based on maps and points that I had, and I went in on 2 different transition lines, and I just sat up right there in the dark, everything. It gets light, and I'm just glassing a little bit, and right down probably 15 yards to my right, big scrape. I'm like, this is awesome. Glassing a little bit more, probably 30 yards to my left, another big scrape. I'm like, how does this happen? So that was cool, and I was like, I'm set up right in a good spot. Do a little bit more glassing. 40 yards in front of me, there's an apple tree, and it's loaded with apples. I'm like, this is freaking nuts, man. I don't even know what's going on right now. This is a blind hunt, and it's just awesome. So it was probably 9:30. I had sat, hadn't seen a deer, hadn't heard anything, saw tons of squirrels, had a little red squirrel driving me bananas. He was running up and down the tree with an apple in his mouth. And he'd set the apple down, and he'd go crazy, like jumping back and forth, like yapping at me and stuff. I was like, oh my God, get out of here, dude. And then he'd eat his apple, and he left. And then I think I texted you, and I was like, what are you seeing or whatever? And you're like, I saw like a little forky or something like that. I was like, I haven't seen shit. And it wasn't 2 minutes after I texted you, I had a big doe coming in, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to smash this doe. This is going to be awesome. Came right underneath me, and she stopped right before she crossed the creek, and she looked back, and I was like, oh my God, there's a buck. And he came walking through, and he was just this little scrubby basket 8-point. And I was like, no, I'm just going to let this play out. So he chased her through. He came through grunting, all kinds of stuff. It was super fun. And I texted you, and I was like, oh, dude, I saw a buck. They're chasing. It's really cool. And you're like, dude, that's awesome. You should probably sit longer. And I was like, yeah, I was planning on it. Not 15 minutes later, another buck comes through with another doe, bigger this time. Actually, might have actually thought about shooting him. He was a half rack, though.
Big
Busted
halfie.
off completely at the base.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything left on that side. Just one.
You know what's weird about that property? We see a lot of half racks out there.
That's true.
I've counted, I don't even know how many half racks over the years.
Mm-hmm.
That giant half rack last year?
No, it's 2 years
2
ago.
years ago.
That thing was a toad.
Giant half rack. Big 4-point side. Just huge.
Yep.
Biggest deer I ever saw out there. Half rack.
Yeah.
Hit 6 to a side. I mean, I kid you not. Split brow tine, probably 8 inches long.
Yeah.
Brow, like literally every time going out started at like 12, 14 inches and just went down.
That is so cool.
Giant, pearly whites. Huge buck. Huge. But I don't get it, like every year. Half rack. Every year.
Man, it's just, there's a lot of fighters out there. That's what it is.
There is. I think there's a high population of bucks and a low population of doe, and there's a lot of fighting going on.
There's a lot of fighting going on for those does, man. Either that or just they're malnourished really badly, and they're breaking them off and they're making a rub. But yeah, who knows?
So before you continue, you are live right now.
Oh, let's go.
It keeps going in and out because of our poor service. But
oh man,
I've been trying to show these guys without saying anything because I didn't want to interrupt your story. But this is sneak peek of Austin's buck this year and last year's, which is pretty cool. So if you're listening to this right now, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go back and watch our video. But anyways, let's end this and we'll keep going with the good details. Sorry, MJ. Bye, buddy.
See you, brother.
Yeah, and so there was a couple people actually watching.
Oh, I dig that.
Yeah, the Whitetail Legacy boys were watching.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I kept seeing like buck coming through, and that was, I don't know what day that was. I think that was,
it was Saturday,
the 25th.
Oh, I don't know for sure what day. That was definitely Saturday, October 26th.
26th, okay.
Yeah, 26th.
26th, yeah. So the bucks were like the smaller bucks, probably 1.5, 2-year-olds and stuff like that, just chasing does, man. I was like, this is freaking nuts.
That was a crazy fog day, too.
It was super foggy.
Unreal.
We had a front coming in because it was supposed to start raining at like 1 o'clock. And I ended up sitting in the stand until, I think, 11:30. And after I saw the 2 bucks and the 2 does coming through chasing, I think I saw 2 more does. That wasn't even in the ballpark with them. I think they were like 60 yards out.
Yeah.
And I got down and I got out and I went out that evening, I think. Yeah, it was raining. I went out that evening. I got out for maybe an hour and a half, and that wind was blowing so hard, and when I was walking through the timber, I heard a freaking tree fell. And I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Like, I can't handle that. That's just my luck. I get smashed by a tree and I never hunt again. So,
well, yeah, and I mean, you're in that swampy bottom where the ground's not so secure. You get that heavy wind and the ground's saturated.
Just no bueno, man.
Watch out.
Yeah. So I ditched down that evening pretty much. And then the next time I got out was that Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
The 29th.
29th.
The 29th.
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
So the night before, I got all my clothes ready, all my stuff ready, got the saddle ready, got my platform, made sure everything was packed, made sure all my clothes were scent free and my tote, everything. Went to work, and I was like, I'm only going to have so much time after work. I got to really boogie to get out to the spot. So I came home and let my dog out, like, super quick. I was like, go pee, get back in the house. And I hopped in my truck and I boogied out there. And I probably didn't make it out there until 4:30-ish was when I parked the truck, and I got dressed on the tailgate, started walking in, and a train came. So I had the train noise.
Great cover sound.
Great cover sound, man. I could step on twigs.
Yeah, you could hit your mic stand.
I could hit my mic stand. Everything. Just make all the noise in the world. And
you just run back in there, really.
I did. I fast walk.
Which is good because it has, like, that trail has a lot of water and stuff. On the way in, you have to go through some standing water, which makes a lot of noise if you want to hurry.
It does. So I was like boogieing. Didn't wear my rubber boots like a smart person.
You know better.
I know. I wore my leather boots, which they're waterproof, but still, I got all freaking muddy and shit. I was pissed about it.
So that whole night you didn't have rubber boots on?
No, dude. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
This story's about to get good.
It's about to get real good. Yeah, those boots are toast right now. They're still wet.
Oh my.
I got about to the point where I was going to head into the woods off of that trail. And I broke into the woods and I started creeping a little bit. And you know that ditch. I got up the other side of the ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I took my first step, I saw a flick. And I was like, what is that? And it was an ear.
Oh.
And there were two big does standing there looking at me. And I was like, shit, this is bad. Because they're going to go one of two ways. They're going to go out towards the road, or they're going to run right into the bedding. And they chose the latter and ran right into the freaking bedding, man. I was like, oh my God. They didn't blow, which was good.
Yeah.
But they just tore into there. I was like, oh man, I'm
You're
freaking toast right now. I was like, but I'm still going to hunt. Went in, I got about 60 yards from where I hunted the previous Saturday. I was like, I wanted to find a little bit better tree. And I found a triple cherry.
Thing was huge.
The thing was freaking huge, man.
It was a big cherry tree.
Big cherry tree. It was straight, and I had cover. Everything just worked out perfectly with that tree.
Pretty tree.
It was a pretty tree. Climbed up, really freaking flew up the tree. Like, I was super comfortable with everything. Got set up, got my bow up, got everything up, and the wind died. Like, totally dead. My wind was perfect, and then it died. And I was like, well, that sucks. Typically, I notice when the wind dies down, I don't see that much movement.
Yeah. I think your scent just sits.
It just sits there.
It pulls.
Yeah. So I was throwing some milkweed, and it was just pretty much dropping down to the base of the tree. I was like, this sucks.
That's not good.
It's not good. First the doe, then my wind dies. And I'm sitting there, it was pretty quiet. And I heard a big crash. I was like, what was that? Still don't know. Still no idea what it was. It didn't sound like a tree falling.
Maybe a branch or something.
I don't know. It was freaking gnarly, though. It kind of scared the shit out of me, to be honest with you.
The swamp monster.
The swamp monster. I don't know. But I was sitting there, and, I was in a really good spot on those two transitions, and I was hoping to see some does, honestly. I was like, I want to get a whack at a doe. I haven't had that much time to get out. I really want to try and put something in the freezer. And it was probably about 6:15. I had like 45 minutes of light left. And I was like, you know what? I haven't seen anything. The wind started picking up just a little bit more of a breeze, not like, it wasn't windy.
Yeah, slight breeze.
But it was just perfect. It was almost like a crosswind, almost giving them the wind a little bit. But it was running right into that swamp. And it would have been to my left.
Which way were you facing in that tree, by the way? Because I just realized you were in the saddle, so.
Yep. I was facing the swamp.
Okay, so you were sitting, looking at the swamp.
Yeah.
Shooting around the tree to your left.
I shot to my left, yeah.
Between the triple trunks.
Right.
Okay.
So I was sitting there, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it hell a little bit. Did like a little bit of a rattling sequence, and I grunted a couple times. scratched on the bark. I was going a little crazy with it. And I was sitting there, and it was probably another 10 minutes. I didn't wait super, super long, but I waited enough, and I just gave, like, one real brrr hard grunt, and then I did two little just, like, brrr, brrr. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of softer. And I hung that up, and I picked up my bow, and I was like, I got like a half hour of light left. I'm just going to hold my bow. You never know what's going to happen. And maybe like 2 minutes later.
You know what's nice? Not to interrupt again, but I'm going to.
Yeah, do it. Interrupt all you want, brother.
In that saddle,
yeah,
it is so much easier to hold your bow because, like, I literally
absolutely
put my arm across
the bridge.
Yeah,
I did the same thing.
And hooked in.
Yeah.
And he basically holds your bow in place with your hand sitting there.
Yeah.
And you're not really holding it.
I did the same thing.
Oh,
man.
my goodness.
It's great.
Was that. You could do that all day long.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not uncomfortable at all.
Not bad, man.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you that.
That's a great tip, by the way.
It is.
Too. Yeah.
It is a really good tip. You run your shooting hand over your bridge and you hook into your D loop.
So weird we both did the same thing.
Yeah. And then I just ran my hand through my little strap around, and basically just chilled my left hand there and basically I have a wrist strap on mine. So
yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Just chilled.
Yeah.
I could hold that bow all day long.
Yeah.
And then if a deer came in, all I'd have to do worry about is swinging and drawing back.
Yeah, I feel you.
So anyways.
So I'm sitting there facing the swamp, just holding my bow, hanging out. Maybe 2 minutes later, I didn't really hear anything, nothing, which I thought I was going to because it was pretty thick to my left. Thought I was going to hear something, or I can't hear anyway. I mean, I'm deaf, people, but I thought I was going to hear something. And I glanced over to my left, and maybe like 25 yards out, there was a buck coming. I was like, oh, man, that's a big body. I didn't see his rack. I just saw his body. I was like, oh, that's a big body.
You just knew. Like, yeah, it's going to be a buck.
It's going to be a buck. And he was beelining it to me. Just on not like fast walk pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, man. And I didn't have time to pull up my binoculars, rangefinder, anything. And he came right down. I mean, he's coming right frickin' just about underneath my tree. And I was like, ah! I saw the antlers, and I was like, no, he's going to die. So I drew my bow back. I didn't even have to swing or anything. I was just in the perfect position. I just leaned down over, and it was almost a straight down shot, man. I mean, it was like 8 yards, I think.
Oof.
And I had my bow just set on that 20 pin, and just thwack.
Let the veteran ride.
Let the veteran ride.
It didn't have a long time to sing the national anthem, but it got, ho, and then boom, crushed.
Yes.
Through the deer.
I heard eagles screaming.
Dude, it's a screech of freedom.
Ted Nugent was playing Stranglehold.
Oh my God, I can see it now. I can hear it. Oh.
Dude, it was like what Clint Casper said. I heard frickin' bands playing.
The Star-Spangled Banner was just full force.
Yeah, dude, beers were cracking. There was a parade going on. It was freaking gnarly, man.
Well, that's how I felt when we jumped on blood within the first, 2 yards.
Shit, yeah, man. That deer, he did that freaking mule kick.
Yeah.
And I thought I hit him a little high, which I did. But he just tore off like a bat out of hell, straight for the swamp, like they always do in that area for whatever reason.
Do.
They know it's thick. They know you're not going to find them in there.
Safety.
Oh, it's always safety, yeah.
Yeah.
And he went, and I thought I heard him crash. And I was like, oh my God, he's down. And I texted you, and I was like, what are you doing?
You called me.
I called you. Yeah, I called you.
And I was out with a good buddy's daughter.
Yeah.
And I was taking her out hunting, trying to get her first deer. And we weren't seeing shit. And when I saw you called, I ignored the call because it was prime. It was 6:36.
6:36, yeah.
And I saw it and went, oh no. And I didn't even decline or answer your phone. I just hit the button that says text back.
Yeah.
And I hit that and went, what did you do?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh my God. I was a freaking ice man. I felt like Chase for a second, dude. I was solid. Let it go. It happens to me every time like that too, man. I'm freaking rock solid. As soon as I freaking let that arrow go, I freaking fall apart, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd have had
at least you couldn't fall to your saddle.
At least I couldn't fall out of my saddle. Dude, I sat there for 45 minutes before I could even climb down. I was shaking, man. I always do. Yeah. That's what it's about, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I agree. I'm rock steady through the shot. and afterwards it's like, oh,
Jello,
dude.
dude.
Yeah, you just lose it.
Oh my gosh, my legs! I had the crazy legs going on.
Yeah, how do you get a crazy leg in the saddle? How's that work? It's even worse.
My legs were just going crazy. Like there were leaves falling. I was shaking the tree so hard.
Oh my!
Yeah, man, it was gnarly. I got down and I think you called me when I was packing up my stuff.
Once it got dark, I ended up giving you a call. We headed back, dropped her off, and then headed out your way. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't hunting tonight. Like I was just basically, guiding. Like, I don't have any of my stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even have a flashlight. You're like, well, who do you know that can get a flashlight? Maybe we can call Lane. And I'm like, oh, that's genius. He lives like right there.
Yeah, man.
So I called Lane up. I was like, Lane, what's up, buddy? And you can hear, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, you still in the woods? He's like, yeah, we're getting out of here right now. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, you want to track a buck tonight? He's like, no way. What'd you do? And I'm like, not me, man. It's Austin. He shot a buck. I was like, I was out with a friend and I don't have a flashlight or nothing, man. I need help. Can you hook me up? He's like, I got you, man. That I can help with. He's like, we'll be home in like 10 minutes. I was like, okay, well, I'm heading out your way. I'll just meet you at home.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in their driveway, and Dana pulls up with the baby, and she's like, what's going on? And I'm feeling her, and she already knew. She talked to Lane. He's like, yeah, they'll be here in a little bit. So Lane and Tanner come rolling in.
Nice.
And Tanner had been going like literally 2 days straight on maybe an hour's sleep.
Oh,
he was like
rough.
Totally. I'm glad to hear from him since. That means he made it home. So he had to go, but Lane was like, yeah, dude, I'll help you out. And we're getting stuff together. And he's like, hey, do you care, if the wife and baby come? And I'm like,
bring them, dude.
I was like, I was already assuming they were coming.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was going to happen regardless. We need her anyway. She's a better blood tracker. I already know this.
Yeah, man. She's a bloodhound.
What a champion. What a champion, too. She's got, they got their baby.
In the front pouch.
Baby Adeline on the front, literally just strapped to her. And
bundled up. Yeah,
all bundled up. It's gotten pretty cold out. And then I'm trying to explain. He's like, well, what are we going through? It's not too bad, right? And I'm like, no, man, he just, it's going to be easy. He's not that far in the woods. Thinks he heard him crash. I was like, I think we're good. Well, I waited, and they got ready and we headed over and we met up with you. Flashlights roaring, all kinds of people. I got the camera out for the recovery. He's got all his camera gear. And we get back there. We get on the blood.
We went right to the tree.
Yeah.
Right from the shot. Blood.
There was blood right there. And it was just, dude, red carpet.
The veteran did a job.
The red carpet was Lane. See what I did there?
My good singer friend, Elena S'mores.
Oh, my.
That was weird. Sorry, Lane.
Yeah. But, yeah, the whole time we're getting fired up. And this deer just, he crashed through some real crazy stuff.
You
dude.
and Lane actually took lead on this. And I was following. I was making sure Dana was making it through. And you guys were like, oh, man, this deer's dead. Yeah. This deer's dead.
I was like, he's going to be right here.
I was like, oh, my God. I was freaking out the whole time. And then we got to a deadfall.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, where did he go from this? And Lane goes, dude, I see blood on the other side. This deer hurdled the tops of a deadfall, like crashing through this. That's what blood I thought I heard
all
crash.
Through it, yeah.
He just hurdled like
he literally just like he must not have been able to turn.
Yeah,
he just jumped, crashed through the top of it, down on the other side. I'm like, holy hell! There's just blood everywhere. Where he landed, there was just like a whole pile of blood, just like someone dumped out a paint can.
Freddy Krueger blood.
Boom. And we're following it, and we're like, man, he's got to be right here. And I'm like looking, and I'm not even paying attention to blood because you don't even have to look at it. You can just, and I'm scanning for the deer. I'm like, he's gonna be right here. And then all of a sudden, you guys
are just walking. I'm like, you still got blood? And you're like, yeah, dude, we're just walking with it. Like,
you didn't have to look for it. And we hit the swamp edge, where the hardwoods hits the swamp, and we bust out into the swamp. And there is just blood all over this swamp grass. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. We're following it. I'm like, man, he's got to be. And it got real thick there at the edge. Like real high swamp grass. We're tunneling through areas. I got blood all over me from following this trail. and it just keeps going.
It does.
And it kept going. And I'm like, where is this deer?
He's got it. You think you're just going to come around the next like tuft of grass and he's going to be laying there.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like every time we went around like there's like big tufts and there's like trails in between them.
And it slowed down a little bit.
It did. It
but it was still, I wouldn't say it was spotty. I think it was just more the stuff we were tracking it in. Because
it was falling in between like blades and stuff.
Yeah. The grass got kind of shorter. It was probably about knee high, and it was just kind of like
soupy,
patchy and real soupy. Man.
And then we got to the edge of the creek.
Mm-hmm.
And this, it's not like a creek, like a little creek that you're finding crawfish in. It's a big creek, and it's got a big channel on the other side. It gets deep, and we saw the blood go right into the water, and we saw his footprints in the mud in the water, and we're like, oh, dear God. He's going deeper into the swamp.
I remember I found blood drop in the water.
In the water.
Like,
That's
and
when
his
I got
track,
nervous.
His track was there, too, and Lane had brought like a real bright spotlight, and we're spotting the other side, the whole other side, and we don't see anything.
Yep.
That's when I knew shit was about to get real.
Yeah, man. That was like, Lane was like, man, if I didn't have Dana and the baby, he's like, I would swim across this with you right now. We'd pick up right on the other side. He's like, but it's getting cold. She needs to eat. We got to get out of here. And I was like, dude, totally understand. Thank you so much for helping me to this point. Like, they took off, and we were like, all right, let's drive around.
Yep.
Drive around and park. Let's crash our way in. We marked it on Onyx, and we crashed our way into this freaking patch of timber, and it was jaggers.
We did not do well getting in there.
No, man. We did not into this thick timber, and then we hit the freaking swamp wall again. And it was way worse than the other side.
Why is it so much worse on that side?
It's ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous.
We almost couldn't get out to the creek channel.
Picture 12-foot walls of red brush.
Yeah.
That's like 40 feet thick.
And then those like tangled swamp trees that grow out like 6 to 8, but 6 to 8 different like main branches come out of them, and they kind of grow like
into each other.
Yeah, they grow out in like 45 degrees.
It's like prison bars.
Exactly. You're literally fighting up and over them. It's kind of like mountain laurel, not as thick.
Almost,
you can work around them and through them. And honestly,
it's just a pain.
Sometimes you have to use them to step on because it's so soupy and muddy down in there.
Yeah, man. I was stepping on skunk cabbage, everything. And this is where, to your point earlier, you were like, dude, I didn't realize you weren't wearing rubber boots.
Yeah.
I was wearing my leather boots. My scent log bottoms are destroyed up past the knees.
I still have mine hanging.
Mine are
mud
too.
Up to my ass.
My boots were soaked. They were like 10 pounds heavier from all the mud and water in them. And we broke through all this crap.
Finally.
And we're like, dude, mark where we came through, because I don't know how we're going to get back out.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't know how we're going to get a deer through that. Like, oh my God. So we had to basically go to where we marked our waypoint on Onyx on the other side, and we kind of snaked our way around that to that point, and you kind of backed off of the creek a little bit.
I did,
and started looking for blood, and I just started scouring that bank, and I walked.
Well, because the creek bank was like this really low, reddish, like flower looking, like water plant,
but it was stiff enough to walk on.
Oh my goodness, it was like the greatest part to walk on. It was literally like walking on hard ground.
It was easier than walking on the trail on the other side.
Which made no sense at all.
It made no sense. It wasn't soupy. It was super hard packed.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
It was like the bottom of a creek. Like it was almost like the bottom of a creek.
Yeah, but it was vegetation.
It was literally vegetation. It was like right on the edge of the creek.
Super weird.
And we're walking along it, but I'm like, it's all red and it's all dark ground. It's gonna be really hard to find blood after he just swam across that creek channel.
It was so hard, I wasn't seeing deer tracks or anything. I was getting nervous, man. I went to that other side and I looked across to where we were, and I was like, this is the spot we were looking at with a flashlight.
Yep.
I'm not seeing tracks. I'm not seeing blood, anything. I'm like, oh my God.
Because who knows? He could have swam down the creek channel.
I thought he died in the creek channel and floated down.
He could have done that.
Yeah.
It's deep enough.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to stop him. If he died in there, he would have just floated the whole way down.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I was only rocking off my headlamp. You had a nice big flashlight.
I had Lane's nice flashlight.
Yeah. And I was scouring it, man. I walked way past where the blood actually was. Didn't see it. I was
I didn't get to it. Because my theory was I'm going to look in the higher, like the swamp grass.
See if he rubbed off on it.
To see, if he bled on it, because it's light colored. Mm-hmm. And, you could tell where the trails kind of went in and out.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to each one, and you're like, oh, got blood over here.
Yeah. I backtracked.
Yeah.
Past where I was before, and I found blood. So he went down the creek a little bit.
Yep.
And got out.
Still pouring blood.
It was blood immediately as soon as he got out of the water. I was like, oh, man, there's blood. And you weren't that far from it.
I was not. I was just there. But he kind of quartered, like he got out, but then he quartered back.
Yeah.
Almost like when he was swimming across, the current took him down, but he still wanted to get that. That's why he crossed there. He wanted to go straight across.
And we know why.
We do know why.
We started going in there, and I actually got a cool picture. I took a picture of blood, and I took a picture of you with the flashlight walking through it.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty cool.
That's sweet.
But we were following this blood, and you took the lead on it. You had the better light.
Mm-hmm.
And we start working our way. It starts getting back into the thicker stuff again. We're like, oh, man, this is going to be bad. And we get in there, and it makes sense why he wanted to go in there. It was a freaking buck lair, dude.
I've never seen something so nice before, like for buck bedding.
About impossible to hunt.
Yeah. I don't know how you would have to like lay down flat in that grass.
You wouldn't even see them until they were on top of you. Literally.
Or literally like hunt out of a boat or something and just wait for them to come out.
I'm telling you, I still have that idea, man. I'm going to lay you on the ground. As soon as baiting is legal in Pennsylvania, everybody's going to kill a deer this way. You're going to lay on the ground. You're going to have your buddy cover you in 200 pounds of crack corn. And you're going to lay there with a spear.
All day long.
When they come to eat, you just stab them.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be awesome.
I would do it. Maybe I'll do it in Ohio. That'd be private ground, I think, but
Yeah, man.
So, anyways, yeah. Well, so the blood started to thin out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Like he was plugging up a little bit, which makes sense because my arrow never came out.
Yeah, it was weird. We never even found the top or bottom of your arrow, but we're looking and I'm like, man, I don't know. We're not struggling to find blood.
No.
But again, it's that knee-high-ish vegetation that's kind of spotty.
Harder to see.
Where we're just catching where he rubs up on stuff. Mm-hmm. And, I'm using all kinds of different tactics to find blood and get through this stuff.
Yeah, we're using hydrogen peroxide.
Yep, which worked really well. Yeah. Even on like a little speck of blood.
That fine mist. As soon as it hits
sprayed
it,
and I'm like, and then all of a sudden foamed up. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Because I wanted to see what it would do.
Yeah.
And then I remember we hit that one spot right before we got into the layer, and the blood was going straight down this trail, and I went to step, and I think that deer tried tricking us and putting us in some quicksand. Remember, I stepped in almost up to my knee?
Yeah,
almost
man.
Straight into my hip. If I wasn't holding on to one of those little trees, I'd have been gone.
It was solid soup, and it was
just
thick.
Soup, and I'm like, holy shit, and we're standing there, and I'm like, dude, it looks like he went right through here. I'm like, we can get around this way. Start walking, and there's blood. I'm like, that son of a bitch deer.
It was like a little skinny knob that went up over, like a little land bridge almost.
It
Super
was so
skinny.
Cool.
It was like wide enough for us to put our boots on to walk across. That's where the deer crossed.
Probably the coolest part of that tracking job.
That
he
was wild.
Took that little dry, like he knew that swamp, that soup bed was there. He took that little dry, sneaky path.
Yep.
Down in and we're following it and we're watching and like an idiot, I forgot to turn my camera on the other side. Like I was filming the whole thing, and we're more interested in finding the deer at this point.
Yep.
But
there were rubs. There were
big
goodness. Tracks in there, trail beds everywhere.
And if you just remember the whole time, I'm like, dude, this is a buck bedroom. I said it 3 times. Oh my God, this is a buck bedroom, and you're following blood at this point. I'm just looking around like in amazement, like,
yeah.
Dude, do you see what we're in? And you're probably thinking, dude, shut the hell up. I don't care. I'm like, this is a buck bedroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And finally I'm like, okay. And we're like, blood, deer.
Dude, you smacked me so hard, and you freaking grabbed me
like
I thought you were going to break my ribs, dude. You grabbed me. I'm surprised you didn't pick me up.
Dude.
You squeezed me and hugged me so freaking hard. I was like, this is the best moment ever.
I was just floored. Like, what an amazing track job.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
whole track from the stand to the side of the creek was 170 yards, I think.
About 180.
About 180 yards. And then from the other side of the creek to where he was about another 180 yards. So almost 400 yards he ran.
Almost 400 yards.
Which is amazing to me that he crossed that creek, swam the creek actually, and made another 200 yards because when I cut him open, no lungs.
Warrior. But you remember, when we were on that other side, we got to that point when blood was starting to get sparse.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we saw a couple little hunks.
He was
like,
spitting
man,
some stuff out.
I'm like, man, we got a couple chunks here. I was like, I don't know, dude.
He was running out of steam.
And then all of a sudden, that blood started coming out real bubbly.
He was probably coughing and just spitting out freaking lung pieces.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point, his lung finally collapsed on him.
And he didn't crash. He laid down in the bed.
He laid down right in his bed like he probably always had done.
Yep. And he died there.
Yep. Legs tucked underneath him.
Everything. Just put his head down.
Just pretty posing for us.
Yep.
Funny part is when we saw him, all I saw was his ass.
Yeah.
Like a little tiny patch of brown fur because he was bedded perfect right up against that tree. He's probably bedded there
1,000,000 times.
1,000,000 times.
Yep.
Like there was a perfect little piece, like a little bit of grass. It was in this opening. If we ever get this film out, you'll see because I filmed it a little bit. What you can see of it. Just an opening of that red brush and those swamp trees all around you. And then right in the middle was like that little tree, that little bit of high grass, and he was just laying right up against it.
Yeah, man. It was killer.
That was so cool.
It was awesome, man.
It was almost like, and if you remember afterwards, you're kind of, and I did film some, but you're taking care of the deer, and I'm walking out, and I'm like trying to find a way out of this place, because at this point,
it was gnarly, man. Where
we're
we
screwed.
I literally cut that deer open. I got all the shit out of him, and I looked at you, and I was like, dude, how are we going to get this deer out of here? Like, we were talking about calling somebody and getting a kayak in there.
Lane.
We had no. We were like, maybe we can float him down. I was like, maybe I'll get naked and swim him down. Like,
I wish we would have done that.
Man, I do too. After that drag,
that was the worst thing ever.
I was beat, man. We were probably 400 yards from the road.
At that point, roughly, we were 400-ish yards, I would say, from the road. Maybe even a little closer. If as a crow flies, a little closer.
Yeah.
But we're not crows.
We are not crows. And funny thing, your flashlight started to die. And it died like that.
That's what I was trying to find a way out.
Yeah.
And I was walking through this opening, and like I said, remember I found blood up there.
Yeah,
it was almost like that buck was going to leave the area and started to feel sick, and he circled back into his bed.
Yep.
And laid down. It totally blew my mind. Because the blood was leading right to where he was laying. But then we found blood up. I'm like,
and you were out looking for a way to get out, and you were like, dude, I got blood over here. I was like, what?
Yeah, like a lot of it.
Yeah.
All over that side. Like he literally was trying to leave, got sick feeling, turned around and laid back down.
Yeah.
And died right there. And that probably all happened like that.
Yeah, probably.
He was dead in a couple minutes.
Yep.
Crazy.
But then the work started, man.
Dude, that flashlight died. And I'm like,
we're running on only my headlamp. And your phone,
my phone,
which was on 30%. Somehow.
Which I was using for Onyx. Yeah. So, which really sucks that I had to use my flashlight too, because now I'm really killing my battery, and I got like a couple % left.
Yeah.
Not many. And the Onyx app is phenomenal. It's the only reason we get out of this place.
Literally. I
was starting to look up the North Star and be like, okay, we need to take this route. I'm like, because if we lose both phones in direction, we're going to die out here tonight.
I was starting to think I was going to have to leave the deer, mark it.
I honestly thought that.
And try and work our way out and come back for him.
I was 100% for that. I'm not going to lie to you.
I feel you, man.
One, there was nobody getting to that deer. It was plenty cold that night. Actually, it wasn't plenty cold that night. That's the problem.
It was like 50 degrees.
Yeah. And it was going to be hot as balls the next day.
The next day was going to be warm. Yeah, I was like, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. I had to work. I didn't go to work.
Yeah, well, it happens. But yeah, man, it just, I surprised myself a little bit. You were freaking trying to plug away out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I gave you my headlamp.
I couldn't believe that you drug that deer by yourself as far as you did, because I was, like, I kept telling you, just stay here. I'm going to go ahead, find a spot where we can get through. Problem is, we're in the middle of a swamp. Like, there were some options that weren't options.
And it was soupy. Like, I was trying to pick places to get a little bit of footing.
The funny part is, if you ever look at Onyx and you're scouting swamp, you can see the deer trails if you zoom in enough.
Yeah.
And this is a good tip for anybody that doesn't know this already. Onyx or even your Google Maps, whatever, you zoom in far enough, you can see trails where deer use them to get through the swamp.
They use those trails for a reason.
And we were using the map to match up with the trails to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So I found on my map a little strip of trees on this other property. And it's a really weird looking strip of trees. It's just like a straight line. It looks like it must be just like one high point.
But big trees.
Big trees, which I am interested in finding that spot again.
I am too.
Maybe hunting that little finger or something.
Might be interesting.
And then it looked like behind it, you couldn't see anymore. Like, you couldn't see the trails anymore, which tells me it was dry land.
Yep.
And then it was either a farmer's field or a cow pasture or something. We tried to get there, and we hit that red brush wall.
Oh, man.
Then we hit deep water in the swamp. So I'm like, okay, well, let's follow this trail. Well, next thing you know, we're going the opposite direction. And we're like, well, we just have to work around this red brush island. And we're working around it.
I'm dragging that deer right behind you around it.
The whole time. And I'm like, dude, there's no option here. I'm like, there's no option. There's cattails 15 feet in the air.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. We got to backtrack. You're like, yeah, that's not happening. And you just crush through those cattails. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea where you're walking into. It's pitch black. Like, we barely have enough light to see in front of us. My phone dies.
Yeah.
I'm using your phone.
Yep.
In the middle of the dark.
As a flashlight.
As a flashlight and as Onyx, trying to get a direction out of this place. We get into that area and then we're like, okay, this is promising. It's pretty open. For about 30 yards.
For about 30 yards. We're like, we're home free. No.
Dude, I thought right then and there, I checked every option. I went every direction. Every single one of them came up with a bad ending.
I started getting a little panicked.
At that point, I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either.
Now, the way we did end up getting out, that was the only way. I was like, okay, this is still dry land, but God bless us if we can even get a deer through this stuff.
Through it. It was all tangled.
And I was using a phone light, so everything looked thicker.
Yep.
Dude, we were I was getting real frustrated. Not gonna lie to you.
Me too, man. Because it seemed like everywhere I freaking drugged that deer, I was running into a wall and I was getting freaking beat, man. I was about shot at that.
I got all turned around. I'm like, dude, I don't even remember which way we were going. I start going a different way, and I'm like, okay, I remember this. This goes out to the swamp. I tried this option. The water was probably going to be up over our head. We can't go this way. And you're like, let's work. I'm like, you kept saying which direction to dry land. I'm like, dude, it's this way. But I'm telling you, it's thick as hell.
You're just pointing at a wall of stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, it's this way. But I couldn't get out. I said, I was literally right on the edge on the map. I was like, I could not get out.
Yeah.
I turned around and came back. So you just start following my footprints. You're like, well, I see your tracks, and you're following, and all of a sudden you just like literally, I think you just bulldozed through the stuff.
I did.
And I'm sitting there with your deer, like I'm just pulling it behind you, like really straight. The stuff we're walking through at that point was almost as high as our boots of just muck.
Yeah, just muck.
The worst shit. But I just kept
rough.
pulling them a little bit, walking up ahead, holding onto a tree or something, pulling them up a little bit.
That was how I was getting through, man. I was grabbing a tree and like just yanking them.
Just using everything.
Everything. Because I couldn't get a foothold on anything.
No, you couldn't. Like, you were just running in place if you tried to plant and actually do something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, dude, I am way out of shape for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dying, but at this point, it's not fight or flight, but it's like a little panic sets in. Like, it's getting late.
Dude, it was like midnight at that point almost.
It was probably close to midnight when we finally decided we just need to bust through here.
We're running on my headlamp, which was probably running out of juice, and we're running on my phone.
And you're like, I'm pretty sure we can get out this way. And I found it looks good. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And, now you come back and the two of us are just forcing this buck through, like, over stuff, in between shit. Oh, my goodness, dude. What a nightmare that was. And then we get out onto dry land, and I could have just...
Dude, I could have cried.
I could have just kissed you.
Yeah.
Like, I just plopped down on dry land. I was like,
we just sat there for a second. We were like, oh
dude.
my God, this is the best part of my night. Like,
literally, that was when finally it was like, okay, we're fine. And in reality, we could have left the deer behind.
And got out. I wasn't leaving that deer.
We weren't going to die back in there and have to start a fire up in the air or something, You
were making it on the ground.
No. So we get it out. We get it to the road, and
you were like, dude, go get the truck. We're not dragging it any further. I was like, I'll be back.
Yep. And you drug the truck down only 50 yards.
Yeah.
I got a pretty cool footage of you backing the truck up to the deer through
Sweet.
the deer's antlers.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll have to show you the little recovery video. I have to make it. I got to put it together, but
that's awesome.
And then grabbed the deer up and we threw it in the bed of the truck, and off we went. To Sheets, and I saw you pulling the sheets. I was like, yes, Sheets.
Yeah, dude, I needed a Gatorade.
Oh my goodness,
I needed some ice because it was warm. I bought like 6 bags of ice, and I just packed that deer full of ice, and I just...
Again, I didn't go hunting that night. I didn't have water. I didn't have food.
Yeah.
I hadn't eaten all day long.
I had a little baby bottle of water, and I drank half of it when I was in the stand.
Oh, man.
So I was like...
And then I realized, dude, Lane's flashlight's missing.
Where's Lane's flashlight? You came up to me, and you were like... You had this look on your face, and you're like, dude, I think I left Lane's flashlight out there somewhere. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm frantically checking my pockets, and I'm like, I know where it is.
Yeah.
I was like, Austin, I remember this, and it confused the shit out of me when we did it.
Yeah.
But as I sat down beside the deer by the road, and we were filming and stuff, and we grabbed them and started to pull them towards the truck, I saw a little light flicker from the ground. I was like, and at the time, it confused the shit out of me. Because that should never have happened.
You weren't thinking about anything like that.
No. And I'm like, but I'll guarantee you that was Lane's flashlight.
Yeah.
And we must have either hit it with the deer or just bumped it or something.
Yep.
And it was down in the leaves, and I saw that light flick.
A little twinkle.
Lane, if you're listening to this, I'm really sorry.
Almost lost your flashlight.
But I did not go back for it. Like, it was way too late. I'm not going back for it. I'll get it another day. I'm kidding. I went back. So then I had to spend $21 on a phone charger because my phone was dead. So I could have light to find the light.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing.
Oh, dude.
Most unprepared I've ever been for a tracking job.
It happens, but you know what? It worked.
We got it done.
And
it was an adventure.
It was, man. I was freaking beat, man. I was driving home and you called me. You said you found the flashlight. I was like, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
It was right. And then I realized I grabbed a Gatorade Zero. Like, what a loss for me. What?
Gross.
I was so pumped. I'm like, ooh, orange Gatorade. Yes. And I didn't even think about it. Didn't look at it. I just grabbed it and went. Austin bought me the Gatorade. I was pretty appreciative.
Yeah, I'm going to buy you more than that. I owe you some brewskis, kid.
Well, hey, how about this? Saturday, I say we could do it all over again.
I like it.
We go do it all over again.
I'm down for it, man.
Now we got a little familiarity with the area.
Yes, sir.
We needed something like that. I'm not going to lie to you.
We've been talking about getting in that area for so long, and we've always been like, that is such a pain in the ass to get in there. And then it just forced us to go in there. Mm-hmm. And now we know what it's like, and now we know that it's going to be gnarly when you shoot a deer, but they're in there.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. But you know what? They're there for a reason. That's why we see big deer in there.
That's why we going to go get them.
That's why we going to go try.
Yeah.
We got a game plan right before we started recording.
Yes, sir.
Saturday morning, we're going in.
Yes, sir.
I'm shooting bucks. You're shooting does.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have a camera in the tree. We can either attempt to hang the same tree, which probably would be the best since you're going to be in the saddle anyways.
Yep.
And I can hang off the front. You can literally hang right behind me.
Or I'll just try and hang a little higher than you, maybe even.
Or that, yeah, because my bow hanger and stuff might get in your way.
Yeah, I'll hang a little higher than you probably.
But I got the new Reach camera arm.
Ooh, the modern assassin, man.
Baby. And out on a limb manufacturing.
Yeah, Matt Garris.
Yeah. Those two badasses made one hell of a camera
That's
arm.
a bad little camera arm, man. It is mean and it's light.
Super light. All in 3 pounds.
Ooh.
3 pounds.
What did your other one weigh? Like 78?
Oh my goodness.
78 pounds?
Dude, I think it weighed 46 pounds and 12 ounces.
and 12 ounces.
Unreal how
Yeah.
heavy that one is.
Honestly,
compared to
your
this one.
arm isn't that heavy. It's that freaking base, man.
Yeah, it was the base.
Yeah.
Which I did see that our boy made his own.
Yes, sir.
Walt.
Yeah, Walt got one.
Walter Lee.
Yeah, he got a hold of Mag
He
Harris.
got a hold of Mag Harris, found on a limb, and got himself a nice base made for his arm, which I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. But
I might buy your arm off you and do that.
that's not a bad idea.
I might do that.
I mean,
Now that you have the reach, I might buy that
super
arm. That's a
affordable.
good arm.
It is a good arm.
Yeah.
But I like the trifold arm better.
Yeah.
100%. And it's so much more packable.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is so cool, man. I can't wait.
It fits in your pocket.
You literally can put it in the back pocket,
Yep.
put the little base and the cam over strap in your backpack or in a small pouch,
Yep.
and you are all in for 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Lightest camera arm on the market.
I agree. So I got to do a huge shout out right now. Number one, huge shout out to you for helping me get that thing out of the freaking swamp because I couldn't have did it on my own. I'd still be out there.
I honestly don't think you could have done that on your own.
I could have drug him out on my own, but I'd have never found my way out on my own.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, that would have
Good
been
teamwork.
good teamwork on that. And that last 100 yards, buddy frickin' drag helped a lot. My God.
I mean, I felt like that deer was on ice. We were just flying through the woods. Like,
Dude,
get
two
us
of
out
us?
of here.
It felt like a feather when you grabbed a hold of it. I was like,
So get us the hell out of here.
yeah, that was gnarly. So huge shout out to you, dude.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome, man.
I'm there for you when you do it. Huge shout out to my boy Lane and Dana.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are freaking beasts. I love you guys. Huge shout out to my boy Matt and Cindy Feuderay,
Oh, yeah.
my boy and girl, for making a bad broadhead. Helped me get it done. And a huge shout out to Williams Archery for keeping my bow tuned.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at those plugs.
I'm just saying.
Who is this guy? This guy does radio or podcasts or something?
I don't know.
Damn. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And, while we're on that, we're shouting stuff out, and
Yeah.
we're talking about Matt and Cindy. Dude, we got to talk about the combat.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen the
I haven't
combat?
seen it yet. I've heard about it. I can't wait to get my hands on one, but I
I'm
know it's out
pretty
there.
Sure
I know what it is.
Showed you.
You did not, but I
Are
want to
you
see it
sure?
bad. I want to see it real bad.
I'm going to find it right now, and I'll show you. So it is a 4-blade broadhead.
Yes.
This is the coolest design out there yet.
Oh,
And we can't share any more than that.
yeah,
But
I know.
like the innovation that went into this, he's literally thought of it all. He has put together from one of the best broadheads on the market. He has created the best broadhead that will touch the market.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a believer, man. That deer was toast, man.
I have seen the results of the veteran broadhead so far this year
A few times.
3 times.
Yeah.
And they've impressed me very much.
Yeah. I'm with you, dude.
But the combat veteran, look at this broadhead.
Let me see that.
You got to look at this broadhead. You
Oh,
see that?
good googly moogly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that'd help. That'd do it.
That's gonna put a hurtin'.
That might kill something.
So I think that picture's open.
Yeah, man.
And this is it closed.
Yeah, that's wicked, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait to shoot that thing.
Yeah, I want to put it through a lot of critters
Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
over and over again, man. They're very durable broadheads.
They get her done. They got her
kill
done for
the
me.
Shit out of stuff. They got it done for you. They got it done for Sam. They've gotten it done for Mike.
Yep,
Our family is growing. The VIP family's growing.
it is. It is.
So shout out to them guys too for their deer. They both shot doe with the veteran.
Yep.
and-
Congratulations, both of them. Mike wore my lucky hat.
Yeah.
He needs to quit wearing it. You're only supposed to wear it on lucky hunts, man. It's not your everyday hat now.
Dude, he's
I need
going to
it
wear
back.
that thing out. You got to get it back.
I'm gonna get it back.
He's taking the luck out of it.
Yeah, he's not loud.
He's got this Irish thing going on. It's weird.
Oh man.
I
Love
just
him
saw
now.
the guy from, we can't say where he's from, but he just shot a nice buck.
Ooh, let's go.
Look at that stud.
Oh yeah, man.
Nice buck, man. PA.
Yeah, laying down some slammers
There's
this
some-
year.
And, Did we technically shout out Booer for his first archery buck?
First archery buck.
First archery buck.
No, we didn't. But you know what? Congratulations.
Congratulations, Booer, man. You got those bums over on the other side of this competition on the board. And
with a really good buck, too, man.
Good buck,
proud of you, bud.
What'd they say? 111?
111.
111?
Yeah.
So we're now on the board. We haven't measured this bad boy up. We're probably going to do it right after this, maybe.
I think it's going to measure approximately 187 inches even.
I don't know. It had a couple days of drying time here. It might shrink to 165.
Maybe if we add that to it.
And we can add the elk crack.
Yeah. It'll be good.
We need to mess with them and like measure it up and be like, yeah, dude, it was like 135.
Oh, no. Nah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to mess with them.
Yeah, I like it. All right, man. Well, that was the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean,
it was one hell of a podcast episode,
that was a good one, man. I had a great time.
This is what we started this for. Sitting here telling buck stories.
Yeah.
In November. And it's like 28 degrees outside.
It's freaking awesome, man.
Dude, it don't get any better than this.
I feel good, man. First buck with a veteran. First buck out of a saddle. I feel cool.
First deer with both as well, right?
First deer with both as well, yeah.
That's freaking impressive.
That was cool, man.
That's
cool.
impressive. And I got to sit your saddle a few times.
How you like it?
I'm hooked.
I'll have to make
If I could get one tomorrow, I would buy it and have it tomorrow.
I'll have to make you one.
Yeah,
I'm going to make it to fit you, though. That one's made to fit me.
Yeah, but I mean, it fit fine.
Well, that's good.
You know,
Maybe
I have a suggestion for you. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we will.
Sam gave me a suggestion because he's been sitting his saddle for a while now. So I'll have to give you that suggestion.
I haven't came up with a name for it yet either.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I might call it El Saddle.
I was thinking Lucy.
Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Lucy.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode and this story because you can hear the passion, I think, in the whole thing, you know, you can I hope you can live through the torture we went through.
Yeah.
To get this done.
It was gnarly, man. I
mean, I was up till 2 a.m. that night, like just tossing and turning all on adrenaline and fired up. And, you know, I was unreal. Yeah. It was amazing.
Super cool.
If you enjoyed it, why don't you head over to iTunes? Give us a 5-star
review.
Yeah.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Go Wild, Twitter, anywhere podcasts are found, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, all those fun places. You find us, we'll be there.
Yeah, come listen to us. Come join us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, until next week.
Until next week, my friend.
Distraction's real.
Distraction is real.
Let's go.